Well, today is turning out to be a fabulous day for mid-May. It's all thanks to a cold front that's passing in. We have dry air that's pushing in as well. It's going to make it for a beautiful day. A string of days here before we get some rain chances returning for Friday. So we could take a look at campus cam. This is a shot from a little bit earlier today. Beautiful blue skies. Just a little fair weather cumulus clouds out there, but beautiful if you're heading outdoors. We will wind up in the low to mid 80s this afternoon before gradually tailing off this evening. Sunset being just before 8 o'clock, so we're getting those later and later days. We will cool off fairly quickly due to the dry air. Tonight, I'm expecting temperatures to get into the upper 50s and lower 60s. This is about normal for this time of year, but with the humidity we've been getting recently, it's definitely going to feel great as you're heading out for the dog walk on your Thursday morning. Now, we do have rain chances. Tomorrow, though, it's going to be beautiful, warm, but nice. And then in the afternoon, really, I would call it the evening, even into the midnight hours here on your Friday, a line of showers will pass in. Now, for your Friday morning, I'm expecting a break. But then this warm front lifts north, and then we start getting a severe threat. So the beginning of the day, just showers, and then as the warm front lifts north, do you think some scattered showers and storms will be pushing in? Now, this particular model is pushing these more towards I-20, but we'll be watching storms pretty much from the noon hour into about the midnight hour, too. And then Saturday, we lose some of those severe thunderstorm dynamics, and then we dry out for Sunday. So we are looking at a severe threat on Friday. It's only, and I say only, a slight risk. I wouldn't doubt even an enhanced risk popping up here. I'm not meaning to scare you, but we could see an enhanced risk pop up here as we get nearer to the event, as more confidence comes in. But I do think every single severe threat is going to be on the docket here. So damaging winds, 15%, chance for some tornadoes as well. Flash flooding and hail is going to be a threat too. Now, this time of year, we start getting these warm fronts that will lift a little bit further north. The past couple, the storms have set up further south, and that's kind of choked us away from the severe threat. This time, I do think there's a higher risk. So that slight risk pretty much lining, I would say, Highway 78 and south. So, but the Golden Triangle, all of our areas, most of our areas are included in that threat. And that could impact your baseball games. So Thursday is probably going to be the best game. As far as weather goes, we'll be in the upper 80s, so maybe a little bit warm here, but that should be good to go. Temperatures will be tailing off into the mid-70s Friday. Those storm chances, I think, will continue throughout the game, so that may have to be moved till Saturday. You know, Saturday is probably the better day. We'll be in the mid-80s all game, but this time of year, yeah, we know what we get, the mid-80s, but it will be at least probably a little bit drier. You can see that on my 7-day updated forecast where we turn drier on Saturday. I only put a 50% chance. Sunday, though, we do dry out, and you can see what happens to those temperatures. Yeah, this time of year, once we get into the dry time, we kind of trade off for those cooler temperatures with the warmer temperatures and the dryness. But today is actually a significant day. Today is actually the first day that the National Hurricane Center is issuing tropical outlooks. Brody Weston is here up next with their hurricane forecast and the season forecast. And here, Brody, there's a Tony this year. There's a Tony name this year. What's going on with that?
Well, Anthony, there is a Tony on the list, but good news. That's later down the list. So let's take a look at the hurricane names, shall we? We start with Alberto, and we continue on to Gordon, to Isaac, to Helene. Now, we'll need to watch the Isaac storm because most of the times the I names get retired because they cause a lot of damage, sadly. But you were talking about Anthony Tony. Tony is way down the list. That is some good news. Maybe, hopefully, we don't get there, but I got a not good feeling that we will hit Tony this year. And speaking of that, average about 14 named storms. 7 of those are hurricanes, and 3 of those end up being major hurricanes. Now, Colorado State came out with their forecast early on, and this is what they're calling for. They're calling for 23 named storms, which is above average, almost double the amount of normal storms, 11 hurricanes, 5 major hurricanes. Well, also AccuWeather came out with their forecast as well. They're calling for about 20 to 25 named storms, 8 to 12 of those expected to be hurricanes, and then 4 to 7 of those become major hurricanes. Now, next week, NOAA will issue their forecast so we can fill in these boxes come next week. So tune in next week. We'll hopefully have those numbers for you from NOAA and the National Hurricane Center. Now, hurricane formation is not expected within the next 7 days, and that's good news because National Hurricane Center did start doing those outlooks today. But we do notice one area, in the Eastern Pacific, because their hurricane season started today in the Eastern Pacific, and it's just west of Central America. Only a 40% chance of formation within the next 4 days. Good news is that will stay out to the fishies and hang out with the fishies just west of Central America. So no impacts to any land interactions within the next couple days. And that's some good news. We like to keep that around here. And part of it is because of the wind shear. We have lots of wind shear out in the Atlantic to the main development region, just off the coast of Africa. Usually we do see this, maybe a storm or two off the coast of Africa, but with the wind shear, I don't see any tropical formation within the next really 7 days and maybe even 10 days out. So that is some good news with tropical formation staying on the down low with the high accounts of wind shear. Now, June. As we go into June, we start off, a few storms here and there. Not too big of a problem. We can handle that. But really, once you get into August to September, even parts of middle September, September 10th is a peak. You're in the all-incline, all-time high, and that is our peak of hurricane season, which is September 10th. We start to go down low in October and November as we end hurricane season. So we're calling for above average season. Now, and part of it is because of the sea surface temperatures. We're running a few degrees above average, almost 5 degrees above average in some places. 82 just south of Miami, 79 in the Gulf. And really, tropical formation, they like to be water temperatures, 78 degrees and higher. And you see, we definitely got that. Look at that, 84 down in the Caribbean. So warm ocean waters, hurricanes, tropical storms, they soak it up. They love it. And within June, normal where we look for tropical storm development, tropical formation, it's just off the East Coast and the mid-Atlantic coast and to parts of the Gulf and the southern Gulf of Mexico near Central America. That's for tropical formation. Now, hurricanes, well, we look just in the eastern Gulf near the Florida Big Bend, the Florida Peninsula. That's where we look for hurricanes this time of the year as we go in the month of June. So, Anthony, quiet now, and that's good news, but just stay tuned with me and Anthony. We'll keep you updated on the hurricane outlook and hurricane season.